Top 5 Most Evil Humans. As we approach the new year, I thought it would be appropriate to do a list that combines and ranks entries from a combination of related lists, a summary list. This list looks at the last 3 years of lists of evil men and women, and combines and ranks the worst of the worst. If you disagree with our rankings, as no doubt many will, be sure to tell us in the comments. Perhaps include your own ranking too. Also, tell us if you think someone else should be on the list. Number 5. Qing. Qing was the wife of Mao Zedong, the communist dictator of China. Through clever maneuvering, she managed to reach the highest position of power within the Communist Party. It is believed that she was the main driving force behind China's Cultural Revolution, of which she was the deputy director. During the Cultural Revolution, much economic activity was halted, and countless ancient buildings, artifacts, antiques, books, and paintings were destroyed by Red Guards. The 10 years of the Cultural Revolution also brought the education system to a virtual halt, and many intellectuals were sent to prison camps. Millions of people in China reportedly had their human rights annulled during the Cultural Revolution. Millions more were also forcibly displaced. Estimates of the death toll, civilians, and Red Guards from various Western and Eastern sources are about 500,000 in the true years of chaos of 1966 through 1969. But some estimates are as high as 3 million deaths, with 36 million being persecuted. Number 4. Pol Pot. Pol Pot was the leader of the Khmer Rouge and the Prime Minister of Cambodia from 1976 to 1979, having been de facto leader since mid-1975. During his time in power, Pol Pot imposed an extreme version of agrarian communism, where all city dwellers were relocated to the countryside to work in collective farms and forced labor projects. The combined effect of slave labor, malnutrition, poor medical care, and executions is estimated to have killed around 2 million Cambodians, approximately 1/3 of the population. His regime achieved special notoriety for singling out all intellectuals and other bourgeoisie enemies for murder. The Khmer Rouge committed mass executions in sites known as the killing fields. The executed were buried in mass graves. In order to save ammunition, executions were often carried out using hammers, axe handles, spades, or sharpened bamboo sticks. Number 3. Heinrich Himmler. Heinrich Himmler, the architect of the Holocaust and Final Solution, and considered to be the biggest mass murderer ever, by some, although it's really Joseph Stalin. The Holocaust would not have happened if not for this man. He tried to breed a master race of Nordic appearance, the Aryan race. His plans for racial purity were ended by Hitler's vanity in making rash military decisions rather than letting his generals make them, thus ending the war prematurely. Himmler was captured after the war. He unsuccessfully tried to negotiate with the West and was genuinely shocked to be treated as a criminal upon capture. He committed suicide by swallowing a cyanide capsule he had bit upon. Number 2. Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany in 1933, becoming Führer in 1934 until his suicide in 1945. By the end of the Second World War, Hitler's policies of territorial conquest and racial subjugation had brought death and destruction to tens of millions of people, including the genocide of some 6 million Jews in what is now known as the Holocaust. On the 30th of April 1945, after intense street-to-street combat, when Soviet troops were spotted within a block or two of the Reich Chancellery, Hitler committed suicide, shooting himself while simultaneously biting into a cyanide capsule. Hitler ranks over Himmler merely for the fact that it was in his power to prevent Himmler's policies being implemented. Number 1. Joseph Stalin. Stalin was General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union's Central Committee from 1922 until his death in 1953. Under Stalin's leadership, Ukraine suffered from a famine so great it is considered by many to be an act of genocide on the part of Stalin's government. Estimates of the number of deaths range from 2.5 million to 10 million. The famine was caused by direct political and administrative decisions. In addition to the famine, Stalin ordered purges within the Soviet Union of any person deemed to be an enemy of the state. In total, estimates of the number murdered under Stalin's reign range from 10 million to 60 million.